Hey guys, welcome back to RMA Garage. I'm Mark and I'm glad you joined us for another episode. And today we are working on the RV, and my wife, who is working the camera, said that she smelled rotten egg smell. And we all know what that smells like. And we thought it was our venting, which if you've seen in a previous video, we changed our vent thinking that we had some fumes lingering around. Well, it turned out that our batteries were going bad, and the smell that we were smelling was the sulfur smell of one of the batteries getting overcooked. So we started to clean the RV today, and I was working on a couple of other things, and we noticed that the smell was really bad right here. And when I opened up the compartment, I could see a little bit of vapor coming out from one of the caps on the battery. So we immediately turned everything off, and I disconnected the batteries and set them here. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, this would be a good time to do a video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we did, disconnecting them, showing you a few of the little things. And then we're going to go to the auto parts store and buy 2 new batteries and put them in. And we're going to show you how we're doing that. So let's get to it. All right, so here are the batteries, and there really isn't a brand. It just says Professional Series Deep Cycle. Capacity, it says reserve capacity 120, and marine cranking is 650. So not sure what brand these are, probably generic of some sort. But the way they were situated, just like this, in the battery box here. So what we did was we disconnected the metal strap that holds the battery down, and we only had to disconnect one side. So there's a hole here and a hole here, and when we put it together, I'll show you how that all goes in. So we disconnected the we got a positive here coming in, and we've got the negative coming in here, and then we have the 2 straps that make these batteries in parallel. So the way that these worked is you had, this was positive to positive, and then you had negative to negative. So that's how these were situated. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these batteries to the auto parts store, and we're going to get comparable batteries, and we're going to clean this box up. We also have a bit of corrosion here, and I'm going to wire brush that, and then we're going to end up putting some dielectric grease on these connections when we put the batteries back in. All right, so let's head over to the auto parts store. It's a good thing we found that when we did.
Oh, it's a good thing we smelled it.
Yeah, it stunk really bad. So if you guys have a smell in your battery box that smells like poo, rotten eggs, chances are it could be the batteries. So I'm guessing just the one battery went bad, and it just kept charging.
Could go for an ice cream cone.
Well, yeah. Ice cream. Let's see how much the batteries cost first. We'll dive into the change.
We'll get baby cone.
Baby cone?
Baby cone, they're cheap.
They're cheap. Baby cones are cheap. You want to share a baby cone? You can eat the top, I'll eat the cone.
Sure.
Well, no, I'll eat the top, you eat the cone, because I don't like the taste of the cone.
You used to.
Get in the zone. AutoZone. All right, guys, we're here at AutoZone. We got our new batteries. We ended up having to go with a larger battery, 700 cranking amps and 140 reserve, because we needed the 24 size, and this was the only ones that they had. And we had to make sure that the terminals were on the correct side. So this matches exactly what we have. Also comes with extra nuts on there to install the cables. And we got a 3-year warranty with this, so we're going to give these a shot and see how long they last. Hopefully we'll get good service out of them. All right, so let's head back to the house and we'll get these installed. Okay. All right, so we got the batteries, and I think what we're going to do is just spend the next 15-20 minutes cleaning out the battery box, getting it all cleaned. And probably what we're also going to do is there's corrosion on some of these, probably from where the vapors were coming out. So we're going to wire brush those and get all of these connections ready to go to put it all back. And then we're going to use dielectric grease, of course, to make sure that we don't get any more corrosion. So we got the battery box all nice and clean. It's not 100%. It's not perfect, but we've got all of the soot and garbage, everything out. We also got these terminals nice and clean, and I'm happy with those. We also got these two cleaned as well. Forgot to mention, definitely use safety glasses when you are working around battery acid, and especially the buildup on these. There's crust. So when you're using, and I used a brass brush. You always want to use safety glasses when you're cleaning these, because little pieces of particles could fly up and hit you in the face. You don't want to get it in your eye. So we've got everything else here ready to go. So we got our cables, everything's ready, battery box is ready, and we just got to grab the batteries. We're going to set those in there and start putting this thing back together. All right, I think we've got this set up here. It's really hard to set this camera up when you're working kind of over it. Very heavy battery. Okay. All right. So those are in place. The next thing would be to figure out how we're going to do these. Those look like they're going to fit okay. Now the tops of these batteries are smooth. The other ones had the handle. So we have a little bit of space underneath there, but I think that will be okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking these off because I'm going to feed them up through the bottom. There we go. A little flat spot there, and these feed up from the bottom, and then they bottom out on the bottom of the battery box, and that's how they thread them in. Hopefully I'm not in the way too much, guys. At least you'll be able to see the end result. Alright, so that one's in, at least bottomed out. Now I did hit these bolts here, what's holding down the battery, with liquid wrench or PB Blaster or whatever you got. WD-40 just lubricates the threads so they at least go down a little bit easier. Now I do want to fasten these so that the battery's kind of in the middle. I don't want them touching those brackets. Alright, so those are snug for now. Could probably go a little bit further that way because we're still a little close. And this terminal only needs to go to here, which we have plenty of space for that. All right, so that one's in. Let's kind of square this one up as well. This is not fun. The one doesn't want to screw down all the way. So we got to... There, I can hold it from underneath now. All right, and we got plenty of space here. So we've got everything pretty much ready to go. Let me get the dielectric grease. And we're gonna use dielectric grease, Permatex. And basically what this is a grease, and it protects the connections from corrosion. A little bit goes a long way with this. So I probably use too much, but that's okay. It squeezes out. We'll wipe off the excess. Okay, we're also going to put dielectric grease on these terminals as well. Smear those around good, and then this is going to be, put them on those cables as well. I don't want to set those down yet. Maybe we'll do the, we always do, I was always taught you do the positive first. Make sure no negative is touching anywhere, any metal, nothing, nowhere. All right, so let's do this. Let's put some Permatex on this end and on this end. Okay, and then we'll set this down. Positive to positive. And I think this was down first. It doesn't really matter, I guess. So these batteries are wired in parallel. That's why you have negative to negative, and this one goes positive to positive. So they're in parallel, so you still have 12 volts and not 24. So we'll give this a snug. Okay. And then this one here, we'll just add a little bit. Okay, that's tight. Okay, so now we've got the negative terminal. This is what makes the parallel battery possible. So we're going to jump negative to negative. Okay, and that's going to go like so. Okay, so that one's good. Now we need to work this side. And this is our negative cable here. We're gonna work this around. Here we go. So now that can fit flush. Okay, close your eyes. All right, we have our leveling system just turned on, so we know that the batteries are getting juice. I don't hear anything melting, burning, or otherwise frying. Okay. All right, guys, everything is bolted in. Double checked, triple checked. Everything looks good. The only thing we haven't done is put in our jumper for our inverter, which I'll do here in a little while. I don't know if I'm going to stick it on right away because with the kids not driving with us much anymore since they got their own lives, we really haven't used it because we haven't needed to use it going down the road. So, okay. There we have it. Let's turn the master switch on. We have the master switch is on and it worked, and we have lights. Lights work great. Okay guys, we got the batteries in. Job well done. It didn't take us all day. A couple of questions that I would have for myself if I was watching this video. And that would be, how old are the batteries? The batteries were original to the coach. So we bought this RV in 2017. The actual Chevy chassis is a 16, and the cab itself, the whole unit, is a 2017. So these batteries, 2017, okay? So that tells us that we got to keep an eye on the battery for the Chevy to kind of make sure it's not going to go bad, it's not going to leave us stranded somewhere. So obviously 6 years on a battery is pretty good, you know, but we don't want to push it. So anyway guys, if you have any questions or concerns, or if I did something wrong, drop a comment below. I will definitely get back to you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. More videos coming your way. Anytime I get involved in any of these things, I do a video to educate you guys. And of course, if I ever have to do this again, it's a great catalog of information for myself. So anyway, guys, thanks for supporting the channel, and we'll see you soon.